I mean, this is just preparation for our next series, Books Unread.
Now, I didn't read this book, but let me tell you what I think. Actually, that's like most of what the internet is these days. People having very strong opinions about things they know nothing about.
Let me tell you what it's about based on the cover.
Yes, based on books uncovered, like judging a book by its cover. Yeah. No, that would actually be kind of a fun channel.
It starts as a joke, and then we do it. Let's not.
I don't think that is as wise a business decision.
Yeah, there is. I do like that idea though. Just taking a book, looking at it.
I don't think people will watch us for just book reviews.
Well, these are not book reviews, Matt.
They're uninformed.
There are uninformed opinions. Opinions uninformed.
Well, it's kind of like the deep thoughts while gaming thing, right? Where you take a game and then you just like go way off into left field.
Yeah, the one coming out today is about Fall Guys. It's a game where it's like a battle royale with these little cute character sprites who are apparently, according to lore, like actually 6 feet tall, which makes them horrifying. But it's a deep look at Taoism.
Mm. Wow.
Check it out, Gamers Unbeaten.
It's like Yakuza was a deep look at quiet quitting.
That's right.
And
That's right.
what the Ubermensch.
Yeah, it's a lot about Nietzsche.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, we're really selling this channel. I think a lot of people would love to watch it.
I'm sold. And you can trust me. I drink Yorkshire Gold.
I'm just waiting for you to do one where we somehow work in like Dream of the Red Chambers now.
Maybe. So anyways, how are we going to divide this up into clips? Matt, Shelley, and Chris just like...
One section where we just talk about Dream of the Red Chamber for no reason.
That's right. But hey, that's educating people about China. It's one of the 4 classics.
We just talked about how you hate it.
Yeah. I mean, it was a replacement for what was kind of the 4th classic before, which is the very pornographic.
Oh, was the vase one?
Plum, flower, and Golden Vase.
I mean,
Dream
of the Red Chamber is a little bit pornographic as well.
A little bit, but if you read
the clouds,
you read the other one, it's.
I have not. So okay.
Which was actually taking a subplot of another one of the Chinese classics, Outlaws of the March, and making a whole story about that.
Wait, so the Plum Blossom in the Vase thing is a fan fiction of Outlaws of the March?
I didn't think of it that way, but yes.
Well, you love fan fiction, right, Chris?
I do, especially erotic fan fiction.
I was going to say it's an erotic fan fiction of Outlaws of the March.
And this crappy book about poetry replaced that? Come on.
Isn't it kind of really about the fall of a household and the suffering of the human realm or something like that?
That and just sort of comment on contemporary Chinese society at the time of being influenced by foreigners and destroyed.
Or Ming?
I think Ming.
Okay.
The foreigners really came during the Qing, though.
Wasn't it written?
Well, not true, because there's this whole thing about Buddhism. Buddhism itself is a foreign religion that was not popular to a lot of people in China.
That's true, because it came from India, from the West.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah, but
Qing.
It was Qing.
Yeah.
Well, Dream of Red Chamber is definitely Qing.
Yeah.
Because the Portuguese didn't even really get to Asia until the late 1500s, right?
Something.
So that was already pretty close to the end of Ming.
Yeah. But so in the one about the vase, one of the main characters, his son becomes a Buddhist monk. And, while there is this sort of line about he's, leaving the human world, kind of moving past to a more spiritual life. The other side of that is this guy's family's bloodline is done because his son is now practicing a foreign religion and he's not going to honor his parents. He's not going to have children. It's destroyed. That family's destroyed.
Yeah.
There's a lot of sons becoming monks at the end of these books, huh?
I guess so. What was it? What's it actually called? I can never remember its name.
So Plum in the Golden Vase.
Plum in the Golden... I mean, come on. How could... that's going to be a little steamy.
Technically it is Golden Vase Plum, so... That's the Jinping Mei. But yeah, I always forget the translation of it too, because it's not exactly something encouraged to be read. If you're a kid learning Chinese or something like that.
Yeah, definitely not. Well, actually, I like this. We're kind of educating people on some of the more cultural sides of Chinese history.
I think what children should be learning nowadays is Xi Jinping Thought on Socialism with Chinese Characteristics for a New Era.
Well, you're in luck, Matt, because a huge portion of the human population is going to be learning that from a very young age.
Right. And the next group is the children of Hong Kong.
Oh, yeah, that's true, because the Hong Kong Education Association has now passed around these pamphlets on Xi Jinping's latest speech in Hong Kong, where he talks about all this kind of stuff.
And teachers are being encouraged to read his speeches and study them.
Yeah. Very, definitely very communist.
Yeah. I just want to point out to the audience, you thought we went off the rails, but you see how it all connects back.
There we go.
We
just took a little...
Guizheng, return to our original true selves.
Which we're talking about Hong Kong?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. This is all meticulously planned out.
Yeah, didn't you say in the last podcast that you think about this for hours before?
Hours ahead. It's like a game of 4D chess. Or that game Data played on Star Trek that was like some kind of crazy... Yeah, never mind.
Sorry.
Yeah, I know.
I don't think I've watched Star Trek The Next Generation since possibly the 90s, so...
Yeah. Speaking of Star Trek, that's making me think of that new movie Nope by Jordan Peele. But that's a tangent that we don't need to go down.
That is a tangent I cannot help you with because I don't know what you're talking
about. Oh, okay. But yeah, the cultural assimilation of Hong Kong is going ahead full steam.
Yeah, I wonder how much resistance there really is going to be to it. Because, they're going to require all of these things, but...
How do you enforce it?
Yeah, and, you can enforce it on the surface level. And I think this is why they know that they have to, the CCP sees this, as a generational thing, right? The people who are in their 20s now are not going to love the motherland, but you can brainwash the 5-year-olds.
That's true. As Matt said earlier, they like to play the long game.
Yeah, but sometimes things happen more quickly than you'd expect. 4 years ago, I would say Hong Kong's court system was generally regarded as independent and fair. And what's happened very, very quickly is all these people who have violated the national security law or other laws that wouldn't really be violations under a free system have now been jailed, convicted. And it's so clearly the CCP has, in essence, taken over the court system, the justice system, let's call it, because it's tied to the courts and the district attorney and the police. And they've done it very, very quickly. So how do they do that? One way is that they put pressure on people who are independent-minded to leave or to retire early, and they promote people who are pro-Beijing. And that transition happened so much faster than I would have expected. They started with the police because, remember, when we were in Hong Kong in 2014, the police were generally very polite and well-behaved. By 2019, a lot of the police force was at least rumored to be trained in mainland China, and maybe even brought in from mainland China. And it felt like a totally different police force by the end of 2019. So that system had been sort of infiltrated and replaced over the course of a few years. The court system has been infiltrated and replaced. So it wouldn't be surprising if the education system were teachers who think in a certain, pro-freedom way are pressured to just leave to find new jobs. They're not promoted. They're not given opportunities. They can't get rehired. And other people are you can sort of clean out or corrupt in an individual system if you work hard enough, and you can do that in a matter of just a few years.
It's happening with the media too in Hong Kong. because they've shut down a lot of the more.
They shut down Apple Daily.
That one they actually shut down, but a lot of the more independent media have been forced to close themselves.
Right. There's very few left. There are still a few, but they're just like 2 or 3 probably.
Yeah, Stand News closed. The RTHK, like the public broadcaster that actually had a lot of kind of independent reporting on the protests and things like that. They essentially, there was like a kind of a purge there.
Right.
So easier to do because that was like partially government run, right?
Right.